Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We finally have some content on Global, and that is the newly EZA'd LR Super Saiyan God Goku. Of course, we do also have the Kid Goku EZA as well, which I'll eventually do later on. But I'm looking forward to this one, and I've seen a lot of mixed reactions on Twitter to do with this guy's EZA. A lot of people have been calling him mid, kind of the usual from the Dokkan community. I don't think he's anything special. I don't think he's ridiculous or amazing. He's obviously not on like Gogeta's level or recently on JP like Gohan's level, but he's still a solid and good EZA. As you can see, we've got him set up with our 2 dupes. Would have been nice to have him rainbowed, but 2 dupes is enough. We've gone full-blown additional and dodge just because he doesn't really need crit with that 10-turn crit he does have. You know, as I said during the breakdown video, you're never really going to be in an event long enough where you're probably going to surpass 10 turns, and even then, you'll probably be in for an extra turn or 2 anyway, and he'll only be on one of those rotations, of course, not both. So we do have him linked up ideally with who you want him linked up with, which is the Gods. He doesn't really have a slot 1 partner to go with, because of course the EZA Tech God Goku does share the same name as him, and you could link him with Birdku, but you'll be missing out on all of these links, which primarily are attack links. You'll be missing out on a lot of huge damage potential with Godly Power, Warrior Gods, Kamehameha, things like that. So actually not Kamehameha, you'll still get like Kamehameha on Legendary Power, but you'll be missing out on a lot of, you know, damage potential with him. So I think with God Goku for now, and this isn't a gripe on anything to do with his kit. I said I do think he's decent, I do think he's solid, I don't think he's anything special though. He will probably be a floater unit, especially once his dodge chance does indeed drop. But turn 1, he is starting with a 432k attack stat pre-super and 213k defense. Now, as you can see, our team is packed full of pure Saiyans. Typically, when you're going to be running him, you're going to be running him primarily with pure and hybrid Saiyans anyway, not just because of his passive, but also just naturally, those are what are the better units in the game actually are. You know, there's a few that don't fall into that category. For example, Piccolo, both of the Gammas. Unfortunately, Vegeta and Trunks, but you know, you would only lose an extra 11%, which off of 1 unit, that's not too bad, but an 8.3 million attack stat to start with. Don't forget as well, on 18 key, he's going to greatly raise his attack and defense by 50% every time he does perform an 18 key for 5 turns. So that is only going to go up and up and up, and you're probably looking like the 10 to 11 million mark, which is really good. And considering he does start just over 200k defense, we're probably going to be looking at 600k defense with that 50% chance to dodge for 10 turns as well, with also crit chance built in on top of that. So as I said, primarily you are going to be linking him with, you know, pure and hybrid Saiyan units, and most of them are the better units in the game. I said there's a few exceptions, like for example Orange Piccolo and, you know, the Gammas, and Vegeta and Trunks being the noteworthy ones off the top of my head. But even then, if you was to run him on like the categories that those units share with him, primarily again Vegeta and Trunks, that is only 11% attack and defense you'll be missing, and also 1 key, which considering the key he started on, like we only needed I think like 2 keys for his to get him to 18 key for an LR. That's really good to help the consistency of consistently launching 18 keys. So missing 1 key and, you know, 11% attack and defense, yes, it won't be at its full potential, but it won't be too bad if you know, if you didn't have the full 55% and the full 5 key. You know, 4 is still good enough. Where is he up to now? So literally off of 1 super attack, he's on a 648k attack stat pre-super, but more impressively, he's up like 100k. He's up to 100k defense. He's up 100k. He's up to 319k defense, just shy of 320, and that's off of 1 super attack. 1. So far I'm impressed. As I said, for people calling him mid, definitely not. He's a very good EZA. He's just not ridiculous. And we're already up to a 9.8.5 million attack stat, and we've 18 keyed twice. We still have 3 more turns of raising his attack and defense by 50%. Not to mention as well, I've got 2 dupes in him. Of course, you can increase the chance, especially if you don't have dupes. But if you do have dupes, you can increase the chance with skill equips. I haven't given no equips yet, just to show him what he can do at 79%, where mine is at, with no equips. Of course, you'll have more of a chance to do that if you do also give him equips as well. So far, I'm impressed, and he's only super attacked twice. So any additionals come along the way as well. We could get another 50% attack and defense raise. Yes, only for the turn, but you know, when you're looking at already like just under a 10 million attack stat, we would already have done some pretty good damage, especially with the crit chance that he has built into his passive and the additionals and crits that of course I can perform because of the dupe system. But more importantly, once we get, you know, 3-4 supers deep, and especially on that last turn, if we do hit an additional, his defense is going to be in a very solid spot with that chance to dodge. Again, you're probably looking like an 11 million attack stat. So that's going to be good damage you're going to be doing to enemy health bars, especially on like red zone, etc. I wonder how he would actually fare up against Cell Max in actually Cell Max's event. Not the red zone Cell Max, the standard Cell Max event. I wonder how well he would fare up there, especially having type advantage. But even so, he's going to do some very good damage, especially raw damage as well if he does hit a crit. But so far I'm impressed. What are we up to now? We're up to a 426k defense stat, and we are literally only a few supers deep. And he's already on 426k defense. Don't forget, this is also with a 50% chance to dodge and also crit for 10 turns. Which here, of course, we're gonna lose out on eventually, just because, of course, the Vegeta and Goku events are typically quite long. But as I said, in red zone, you're hardly ever hitting turn 10, maybe against Broly just because he is one of the longer ones. There's that 50% chance to dodge, which is going to come in handy during red zone. Unfortunately, you can't dodge Broly's final stage, so that is a huge kicker against him. But Broly is the only red zone stage which goes on for quite a while. We're already over 10 mil. But everyone calling him mid. How? How, man? I don't understand. He's actually really good. As I said, is he anything amazing or ridiculous? Is he Gogeta level? Probably not. And is he Gohan level for JP? Of course, eventually global. No. He's still really good. He's a solid EZA. He just, as I said, one of the main gripes I have, which isn't really the unit's fault or the EZA's fault, is just he doesn't really have a slot 1 unit to go with. But having him as a floater, not bad whatsoever. Not bad whatsoever. He's going to be amazing. As the 3rd slot unit on a rotation, he is going to be very, very good. I would actually love to run him on rotation, and of course I'm going to do that for video sakes, but he just doesn't have a slot 1 unit to go with. Like, don't get me wrong, you could take the chance and put him in slot 1 because of the 50% chance to dodge, and pre-super with like 500-600k defense, for the most part he will tank basics. But if he was to be supered in slot 1 and you didn't dodge, because again, it would have been nice if they bumped the 50% chance up to 70%. Make it a little bit more consistent, then after the 11th turn, drop it down to 50 instead. But he could go in slot 1 himself. It's a lot of RNG. You know, it's like with UI Goku, even transforming EZA Gogeta Blue. You put him in slot 1, yes, he, you know, primarily could dodge. But at the same time, if a super attack comes his way pre-super and he doesn't dodge, you're taking a bag full of damage. But so far, I'm impressed. You know, he's getting key +2 in attack and defense plus 100% at the start of turn. Of course, we've got the full key +5 because of all the pure Saiyans we have on our team. And it's literally so easy to consistently get his 18 key off. And on top of that, we're getting the key +3 and defense plus 50% with, of course, the high chance to dodge for 10 turns as well with the built-in crit, which I don't think he's actually crit yet. As I said, majority of red zone stages in the game are not lasting till turn 10. So for him to lose the key +3, defense plus 50%, the 50% chance to dodge, you know, rather than having the 30% he has from after the 11th turn, and also that built-in crit, you're hardly ever going to see him lose that. In ESBR, you're never going to see him lose that, because again, that's constantly being updated. I wouldn't ignore that if I was you. I do want to do more ESBR videos, just finally having the time to do so. But there's hardly any red zone events where you're going to be going past 10. So you won't have him lose all of that and go down to a 30% chance to dodge. And even then, his defense is in a solid spot where he will continue to tank double digits for basics. It's just super attacks that will catch him if you don't have a Whis active. But again, realistically, when are you going past turn 10 with this guy? Or in general, when are you going past turn 10 when you do red zone runs in general? And when you consider the units that can surround him, again, you're looking at both year 7 LRs, the EZAs for the SSJ4s. Even if you do decide to bring a Trunks and Vegeta and lose 1 key and 11% attack and defense, like, it'll make a difference, but not that many. Like, not that much. It won't make that much of a dent. When you consider damage dealers, like, I know people were not the biggest fan of him, but he's a good damage dealer. Beast Gohan, He's surrounded by a lot of heavy hitting units. EZA Gogeta Blue, again, he doesn't fall under the pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans category. So again, you would lose an extra key or 11% attack and defense on top of that. But they are damage dealers. Even if you decide to not use Vegeta and Trunks and use Gogeta Blue, you don't have them like me. Gogeta Blue is an insane damage dealer. So I am actually thoroughly impressed. I'm pretty sure his defense got lowered last turn, so we're up to our 864k attack stat. I'm pretty sure, is this the 5th turn? I'm not sure if this is the 5th or 5th or 4th turn we're currently on. We haven't hit no additionals though, which is kind of annoying. We haven't hit a single additional yet. But literally, we're in turn 7. We still got the extra key, the extra 50% defense, the crit chance. Like, as I said, you will probably hardly have... Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot of damage to take. But again, that's pre-super type disadvantage. But still, he's got very good damage. We finally got an additional. It's only a basic. But he's got very, very good damage output. His damage output is incredibly impressive. Solid defense. And dodge chance, which after Gogeta Blue's EZA, dodge is becoming one of the most OP, if not strongest mechanics in the game, just because more red zone stages are being released where you can actually dodge them, and that's being able to dodge. Yes, in God Goku's case, it's a 50% chance to dodge, which is still decent. You know, it's no 70% chance like UI Goku or Gogeta Blue, but that's still a 50% chance to dodge against the hardest hitting bosses in the entire game who can do over 1 million on one super. So his EZA is very, very good. Is it that upper echelon level that I think people constantly want all the EZAs to be at? Definitely not. Definitely not. But his EZA is very, very good. Very good. And I'm incredibly impressed. You know, the reason why he's also doing a lot of damage as well is not because of the 50% attack and defense raise he gets for 5 turns on the 18 key, which, as I said, with all the key he's getting per pure or hybrid Saiyan category ally, but then the key +2 at the start of turn and the key +3 he gets in general for 10 turns, that's incredibly easy to consistently hit 18 keys. I don't think you're hardly ever going to struggle to do that unless you have incredibly bad orb placement or prioritize someone else with key who may need it, and you have no pure or hybrid Saiyan category allies on your team to go with this God Goku. But typically with the teams and categories you're going to be running him on, you are going to be bringing him with other pure and hybrid Saiyans just naturally, just by building your team. You may not have the full 5, but naturally with the units you're going to be using, because of how good they are in the game, again, you're looking at the likes of Year 7 Gods, Year 7 SSJ4s, even though you won't have these guys on the same rotation, you're looking at EZA Tech God Goku, you're potentially looking at Birdku as well. All of these guys who naturally would go on your team are going to be giving him the extra key in attack and defense anyway, so I have to say, man, his EZA it's amazing. It's really, really good. I am incredibly impressed. It's an amazing EZA. All the people calling him mid, yeah, I don't know about that one. We are on turn 9. We are about to lose all the extra stuff we get from his passive. That's if Vegeta manages to survive this turn and next turn. But he is very, very good. If you have him ideally set up again, you know, you're consistently hitting the 18 key, you're getting the 50% attack and defense rates for 5 turns, you know, you've got the key +2 and attack and defense +100%. He's doing really good damage at all times, even before you start the kind of mini stack within the 5 turns, because he does get the additional attack +50% when performing an ultra super attack, which, considering how much key you're getting and how easy it is to get his 18 key off, you're always going to be getting that. Then you've got the key +1 and attack and defense +11% up to 55% per pure and hybrid Saiyan category ally. Because of all of that, he's doing some incredible damage. He's putting out some very good numbers. As I said, it's kind of unfortunate we haven't really seen him crit, but then it's not really a showcase video of mine if my units don't perform additionals and crits, even though they do have dupes, even though this guy has crits built in. So it would have been nice to see a few more consistent crits, but that's not the case. And I don't think we're probably gonna see God Goku without the extra buffs he gets for 10 turns, but his EZA is really, really good. I'm really impressed. Really, really impressed. His EZA is very good. I don't understand the misconception about calling him mid. He is very good. I mean, maybe it's because after turn 10, he goes down to a 30% chance to dodge, which just isn't very good, especially with how hard red zone hits. But as I said, realistically, when are you going to go past turn 10? And even if you do, for example, again against Broly, who has one of the longer red zone stages, you're probably going to be in there for an extra turn or two. So that'll be one turn where God Goku doesn't have all the extra ki +3, defense +50%, the 50% chance to dodge. In fact, no, I think he keeps the ki +3 and defense +50%. It's just the dodge chance that lowers to a 30% chance and a 50% chance. As I said, yes, it kind of sucks a little bit, but specifically against Broly, who does have like one of the longer red zone stages, you can't dodge his final phase anyway. So his EZA is very good, and we actually are going to see what he can do without the okay, no, I think we do actually lose the ki +3 and extra defense. Although it doesn't look like it. It does look like we lost the ki, but I'm actually not entirely sure. I think it's just the dodge chance, but it could be everything. Either way, again, the same thing I'm saying applies of realistically, in harder content, when are you getting up to turn 10, let alone past it? But unfortunately, we didn't manage to get any additional supers along the way, which means he would have got some extra defense, but there's a big 5.7 million crit. I would have preferred to see you crit when we were, you know, on the final turn out of the 5 turns, where you're doing like a 10, 11 million attack stats. But still, he's amazing. He's very, very good. As I said, the only gripe I have, like I said in the beginning of the video, is he doesn't really have a slot 1 unit, so without me forcing him on rotation for like red zone videos sake, for content sake, you're probably going to be running him as a floater, which he's still going to do very, very well at. As I said, very good damage output. The built-in crit means he's doing amazing damage, like actual raw damage to enemy health bars. You know, if you have dupes, even better, because you could launch an additional super in a turn while you're doing the mini stack on the 18 ki, have even more defense. He's going to tank double digits of red zone bosses basics. In terms of supers, a lot of them he can potentially dodge, you know, apart from like Broly's final phase with a Whis active. As long as you're like a few turns deep, he should be able to tank them and not get you killed. I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed. He's very, very good. Very good. And even if you don't have a team full of pure and hybrid Saiyans, which realistically you will, just naturally because of the better units in the game are pure and hybrid Saiyan units. As I said, you're only looking at a few that could go with God Goku. Again, the Gammas, you know, Vegeta and Trunks. But there are ways and means around that where just because you don't, for example, have the Gammas on a team, you could have someone else on a team who's just as good instead of the Gammas, like Birdku, even though you could run both. But that's only an extra ki +1 and attack and defense +11% you're missing out on, which won't make too much of a difference. And then if, for example, you were to run both Gammas specifically, that's ki +2 and attack and defense +22% you're missing, which you'll probably notice a difference. It'll be noticeable, but again, it won't be bad. It won't be detrimental to God Goku. And even then, he still has enough ki to consistently launch an 18 ki with no problems. So his EZA, to me, very good. I'm very, very impressed, but do let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace.